Team Secret's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team pick.
Imba Spirit.
Team Secret's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Shadow Fiend.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Ten seconds remaining. Team Secret's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Oh.
Dire team pick.
Vengeful spirit.
Team secrets turn to pick.
Chaos Knight.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
An insanely China-biased panel. Ben. In the game today.
No one's even seen Secret, really.
No.
Hold on, my predictions are here.
Really?
Hold
Is that
on.
actually what you have to stop and do? No.
I always do this.
You do.
Gotta get those battle
You did
points,
this at
man.
TI. You actually did that during the main stage of TI.
People care, Toby.
People care?
People
to
care.
help people inside the game, you have your little predictions to go? Do we want to do that? No.
Am I with Secret or VGJ here? I'm not actually sure. It's a toss-up. I'm not sure how good they are with the Omni Knight. It's a hero that I did not expect to see first phase in our first game.
Well, Fog was talking about the fact that they actually ran a very similar draft, and then the Juggernaut got banned out in the second phase, which was part of it. It was the Juggernaut and the Pugner, and they go a different avenue. They go in with this VS plus the Luna instead. So it will be interesting to see how it all comes together for VGJ. But the panel was going with them, and you do ask the question, like, how's CK meant to work with the lineup? Like, the lanes look good, but going into the mid game, isn't Luna and the Ember Spirit going to have a lot better time against the CK?
Yes, but the Ember Spirit needs farm, and that's where the Wisp plus SF comes in. And Luna, it's gonna be tough for the CK to do stuff. Wisp makes a lot of things possible. Hold on, I have 13 seconds. Player with the most kills? Oh. Okay. What are you doing, Toby? Why are you so quiet? Are you doing yours too after criticizing me?
Hey, you're the one that was
Wow.
meant to be saying something really intelligent just then. Obviously not. Yeah, I also did mine as well.
Thank you.
We'll see if I fail.
I had VGJ, Puppey, Breeze, and Puppey.
VGJ mid one, ROTK, and Puppey.
Okay.
I rushed my middle too, I'm not going to lie. But congratulations if anyone
Oh, they're
else
switching up lanes over here. So Fenrir and Aggressive decided that they don't want any of that bottom lane because they know that it's an ABBA. So we see a lot of dodging going on.
But the rotation's been watched, and Puppey's already waiting for the courier too. Thanks to the observer wards they've got, they're going to see that exact path of the courier, but the pings just came out too. Puppey cut a tree in vision. So they know what's going on. And that courier's gone the very long way home.
Yeah, the very, very long way.
Yeah, it's the safety. You know the bounty hunter is on the prowl, Puppey. There's a reason why he picked up this hero within the first two. He loves his bounty hunter, and he is renowned for it too. So Freeze, he has to deal with the early pressure, but so now you're running this top lane, this IO plus CK. Actually, they're TPing up as well. Okay, so FY and Fenrir are running here. Aggressive. Takes the initial stun on the top. Now it's actually MP. They turn it around onto him. On the run through the tree lanes. A fairy fire consumed by Paladai, giving him the extra life. And this will actually allow him to survive. So no kill on the top lane, and it is a very difficult lane to murder.
CK is just really, really tanky. 4 armor, and he has the Wisp backing him up, and a Stout Shield, and a Strength Hero. They actually don't need the Wisp mid, though, which is really, really good for mid 1.
But RTK takes so much after he has already his Purification. With a degen aura, it's a little bit more difficult for KheZu and MP just to track him down. But he'll already have to move back and trigger the Shrine 2 minutes in.
I thought he was going to go for that kill.
It looked like they had enough damage for it, but nope. So lane rotation, KheZu's going to TP himself up towards top lane. Try and get that matchup that they want again.
They really want the CK to be fat, though, which I think is the right call.
Mid 1. That's troublesome. In behind the tower, Freeze diving in deep. The Flame Gun's enough of a burn to get the kill. Freeze will end up going down. Paladai was in the neighborhood, so able to just leech a little bit.
And he spent all his unreliable gold. Nice efficiency there. Bought his boost and his scroll right before.
Doesn't miss out much. In fact, he doesn't miss a single last hit in the mid lane.
Puppey's still hunting for that courier, but with him dying, he actually does not need to send the courier mid, so that's an extra benefit of him dying. Puppey's just trying to steal bounties, and they know where he is right now. And he is still level 1. Poor guy. Yeah, so I think there's 2 varying philosophies for this game. Like, you can either keep both carries like underfarmed in like perhaps a try-on-try situation where you're not really going to get that much, but I think Luna's much better without items because you have Eclipse and you have Lunar Blessing, both of which are not really that item dependent, whereas CK, if you're weak, you're just going to get cleaved down by the Glaives. Like, even one Purification could just kill all of your images. So I think you really need to armlet up on the Chaos Knight or whatever strength items ASAP. And eventually a Diffusal Blade. It's really good at killing the Ember Spirit and just locking down the Luna. Purging off Guardian Angel is also going to be incredibly important for they don't actually have that much magic damage.
You're still talking about like a lot of money coming out there.
Yeah.
So what happens when VGJ just group up? When RTK has the farm he wants on that Omni Knight?
Well, that's the thing about Wisp too. You can split push very, very effectively, and I think they are going to need to do that. Because
more trouble on mid lane for mid 1.
No.
All that MML doesn't count for much when Freeze just able to Searing Chains you and lock you in. Now that's going to be his bottle sub 4 minutes. His CS hasn't been terrific, like it's 22-11 against the 13-1, so Freeze has not been coming out on top as far as that CS goes in the mid. But with the kills going his way, he sits higher up on the net worth.
And Paladai hasn't actually been able to move too much. Didn't start off with the Iron Talon like we do see him so commonly because they wanted to pressure the lanes a little bit, but as a side result, Bounty Hunter not doing anything in Paladai not being in the mid lane, SF's just been all alone. And we expected this matchup to be not that great for Freeze, but first blood, not as much CS, but second kill too.
Is there a way to stem the bleeding? Like, do you switch the lanes up and put more like the IOCK in mid and let the SF go to bottom lane?
I think you just stack for him.
That's
Wisp
it.
is really
you just
good
play
at
the
stacking.
catch-up game with him?
That's generally what you do with SF. You just stack, get him few camps with level 3 or level 4 rays, and then just group up with them.
Freeze, careful. Oh, wow, really careful, mid 1.
Okay, that's how you catch back up.
Level 2 raise, and what attack, and the Ember Spirit caught napping in the mid.
That was so greedy. I like, maybe he was waiting for his bottle on chicken, but even that's not super safe because there's a bounty hunter in the game. He's not that close to level 6.
Speaking of the bounty hunter, you're going to go to bottom lane where RTK is being initiated on Puppey with the slow. Orb of Venom plus Janata. They need extra slowdown RTK, but they just don't have it, but they do force the TP out from FY.
Oh, Omni Knight's actually going for the phase boost build too. Omni Knight wants to get in there. They want to be able to broad march their heroes. They know that they don't really have a good way to deal with the early in the game.
That's actually what he did last time he built this. He went phase Midas and then with the pipe Shivas.
That's one of the benefits of having the CM too. You don't need to go for the arcanes. Like, he's very mana intensive as an Omni Knight, and you want to have that sustain so you can farm up camps and sustain a push. But with CM on your team, it's just so much easier to get away with heroes that aren't commonly picked.
So right now up on this top lane, are you actually happy with this? With Abaddon, KheZu's able to get in a lot closer, get a lot more farm?
Say a lot more farm. He has 12 CS.
He's getting there compared to what he had before.
Yeah,
he's got one third of that in just the last minute.
He's been forced to TP a lot, just run around. He's very low on their priority list of farm.
That Radiant Observer was still able to scat out a lot, including FY's rotation up to the top lane. Freeze going in deep under the tier 1 tower. TP support's coming in. This is a level 6 Ember Spirit. But then again, does he actually have enough to get out of here? Blocked by the Spirit, taking way too much damage from the tower. So if the Spirit jump up, we'll get him back into the river, and Puppey unable to close the distance.
And Freeze will not be blessed with the rune.
Oh, top lane, KheZu. The ulti, the Eclipse, the creep wave. It tanked up all. I don't think it tanked up every single beam. Aggressive, just can't find the luck against the Abaddon.
Yeah, he would have needed 2 hits. He's only level 6, so level 3 beam wasn't going to be enough.
MP bottom lane, Frostbite's there. It was an Omni Knight just invis jumping through the rear, takes the damage from the Purification, and it will be enough with the Degen Aura for him to die. Can't make it to the stack to deny himself. At the same time, Puppey ends up getting picked off next to the Bounty Rune inside the Dire Jungle.
Bounty Hunter is level 2.5. That is so sad. Looking at his experience right now, he doesn't even have TP off cooldown, so he has a. That's the walk of shame.
He's gonna have to leech. He'll have to actually leech when the SF does his flash farming.
That's definitely what he needs to do, because there's just not really many avenues for him to get back. They don't have enough disables to kill the Ember. Luna's pretty well fortified in her safe lane, and an Omni Knight's a very difficult kill, especially when the supports are constantly sitting behind them with sentry wards to protect. So they always have to live in fear. Are the supports sitting behind RTK? Probably, but they don't know for sure most of the time.
Puppey's trying to just inch his way up, but yeah, he's not certain where that sentry ward is.
Yeah.
Like, we can see it, whereas a little bit further down the lane, so Puppey can go up that way. So he puts down an Observe ward just to get his own vision.
And ROTK doesn't even need to skill up Repel. Spirit, despite his early death, yeah.
This feels like bait. RTK inches forward with a creep wave around him. Wants MP to actually rift him. And in fact, that's actually what they're going to do. The stun and rift. Fenrir is there to help out. Now they can try and turn this with a Purification plus Frostbite. MP takes a lot of damage. Puppey moves in as well, but they don't have enough for the kill, but is setting up for the rotation. FY and Freeze, they're already down the bottom lane. They'll see Puppey moving over towards the left, but they're focusing on the big one. They're focusing on MP, so the Magic Missile stun, 2 Spirit committal. Chaos Knight will drop, and Pylai Die quickly TPs himself away to safety and away from the gank of VG. And this will now probably be the tier 1 tower on bottom.
VGJ just need to group up because Secret is so weak right now. Bounty Hunter offers nothing. CK has no items, and SF struggled a little bit in the mid lane, but he's going to get some good space to farm right now. And ROTK is going very greedy. 3 in Degen. Screw Repels, screw GA. That's a super offensive build.
Just like ask him to come at him. RTK is going to TP towards the mid, just to stop mid 1 from pressuring that too much. They've already got the bottom tower in the bag, unless Puppey wants to attempt a denial.
No way.
But that would be very, very dangerous.
His life isn't worth that much, but it's not worth that little right now. He's not like a melee creep status yet.
So you take the tier 1 tower. Team Secret trying to get something in return, and Aggressive is probably the best target they had. VGJ showed a lot of players on bottom lane, so they're cutting through. They're trying to find Aggressive in that small little nook to the south of the tier 1 tower, and they know it.
He's very tanky though. Luna level 8, usually don't think of him as that tanky, but with stick and strength treads and raindrop, he is not easy to kill.
Drags the creep wave up, and now, in fact, Team Secret have to take more damage, and they're going to be concerned too. VGJ should have TPs available. So you don't want to get way too aggressive, and in fact, now, with Omni Knight up in the top lane, RTK arrives. There is no fight to be had here.
How does CK jump into this lineup? Like, he has to be deathly afraid of reality rifting. And even his ulti isn't going to stay alive. KheZu walks into aggressive.
FY's going to run out of here. It was underneath the sentry ward. But yep, RTK, he's just going to keep going at him. Doesn't matter if KheZu wants to run into this. He's still holding that extra point, so if he wants his borrowed time, he can get it.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen too many people hold that skill point.
Okay, so that burst damage. There goes the ulti. But they just waited out. Pylai Die jumps in. Now the Eclipse aggressive. Explodes the IO. KheZu still dying in the tree lines. If he can just stay in range. RTK, the damage isn't enough from mid one. He got stunned up by the Lucifer Beam and couldn't finish the job. KheZu on 55 HP. Moves down to the tree lines and RTK gets caught out. Mid one will find the kill. Meanwhile, down on bottom lane, the stun was holding Freeze away from MP. And now they're the ones on the retreat. Pylai comes over at MP. Reality Rift plus Chaos Bolt is available. But they hesitated with the initiation onto the Ember Spirits. They just let him go.
Not sure if ROTK thought he could get away with that with the build that he had. Normally in that position you can like repel GA TP and there's no way for them to stop him. But he doesn't have the luxury of that to him yet. Veil on Ember, pretty common, but he definitely needs the armor. You're going to be taking a lot of physical from CK, especially with the Reality Rift and Presence of the Dark Lord, so they need Aquila, Vlad's, Medallion, everything.
This game could go for a while then. Mid one's going to take out that top tower, top net worth by far, but the relocate pilot eyes come in with MP. They want RTK, but while the repel's up, they can't do much. It'll come down. Purification, Fenrir gets the slow and aggressive. He wants something, but pilot eye in 2 seconds time will take MP back to safety. So it's KheZu as well as mid one on the run, but look who's coming up again. Fenrir, FY as well as Freeze. In through the south, Spirit jump forward. He'll be able to Searing Chains over on both. Nope, mid one, Frostbitten up. Still got the ulti off and Freeze taking too much damage. They need to kill up mid one with a Sleight of Fist. He'll actually die to the end ultimate, giving mid one a double kill, but KheZu stands his ground.
Wow, he was holding his chains for whatever reason. VGJ, they all expected him to cancel the Requiem cast with the chains, and they probably could have killed him before the cast, but he let it go off, and then he took a 1.5 Requiem to the face and just got slaughtered. He didn't need a pop stick. Maybe he didn't have enough mana at that exact moment or something. It might be one of those moments where you're like, oh, I have enough mana, and then you press it, you're like, oh, wait, no, out of mana, and then you have to stick, and then you have to press it again, but that time it might have been too late. So, yeah, that was that's quite the blunder for them. That's rough.
Yeah, not the 5 VGJ were wanting, and this is now leveling it up, 7-7 on the board. Team Secret with these couple of engagements actually start getting an advantage in the net worth. They've actually switched it around by almost 5,000 at this point. Same with the experience, they're leading for the first time.
Yeah, and mid one's definitely going to be the king of this game for some time to come. He's very ahead in net worth, and he's going for the BKB rush. I think the BKB is really good here because their team fight is just horrendous compared to VGJ right now.
Pilot Die is dying to RTK. He has to tether TP out before RTK can do enough damage to solo kill him. With the phase boost, there's no way for I to outrun him.
Yeah, Aura's VGJ trying to double down on their team fight presence, but they don't really have a good way to deal with the BKB Shadow Fiend at all. Compound that with the Wisp being able to maybe even prevent him from having to pop his BKB really early on in the fight. It's not looking as good for VGJ as it once was. Their team fight was going to be really, really strong, but SF, he can just right-click people down as we've seen in the fights. Maybe that's the reason too why we see RTK changing up his Omni Knight build, going in for the earlier drums. You're going to get the Blink Dagger plus Veil control coming in from the Ember. Normally at this point they would have grouped up and pushed on T1s. They grouped up, pushed T1 bottom with a smoke, and now they aren't even really close to approaching the T1 at all. And you don't want to split up versus a Bounty Hunter, and especially a Bounty Hunter with a Wisp. So anyone that's just off alone is just going to get relocated on like this.
Top lane, FY. The 3-second stun is overkill. FY will die.
And they're lucky that there's not a Bounty Hunter there, or they would have just given up like 200 more gold at that point. So now they realize, okay, we need to
Instead, Puppey is actually sniping couriers if he can almost get enough damage in. That had the Drums of Endurance on it. That actually has RTK's item. And Spirit now having to jump himself away from mid 1 and KheZu.
They're trying to group up mid, but they don't have a T1 tower there. They want to push here, but
they got aggressive ulti.
It's not really happening.
Like they got a solo SF with Eclipse available, and they just don't want to do it.
Mid 1's just really good at imposing his presence, though. Like, he could be farming neutrals, he could be farming ancients, but he's preventing this push by just standing super far ahead. He's also been able to allow Secret to get these really nice observer wards on the map. Look at that trifecta of wards. It's covering with the majority of the map that VGJ want to go to. Every time they want to group up for a push, they're probably going to have to use a smoke. And if they split up, boom, relocate, someone else is dead. So VGJ's options are really limited right now. It was supposed to be good for them. They were supposed to continue to take down the T1s and group up, but it's actually Secret that are just playing really well around the SF.
It looked like they were, like, for the last 30 seconds, VGJ have been moving around that sentry ward like they want to smoke. But they can't even do that. Like, they picked one up, but now I think they're realizing with the tier 2 tower being dropped on the top lane by Team Secret, they have to go for a straight trade-off.
It's because they're not confident they're going to win a team fight right now.
Here comes the SF, so they may have no choice. Fortifications up. If they want this tower, they have to take the team fight.
Yeah, they could easily get relocated from behind, and their supports would get slaughtered. GA still not up for Omni Knight, so maybe with that they could take one.
Oh, Puppey just hit the perfect sentry ward. He just got both of the obs wards. VGJ kind of messed up a little bit. They put 2 obs wards almost on top of each other, and Puppey's 1 sentry ward was able to claim both of them.
And that will be an easy Roshan.
This'll come in handy.
Team Secret will get that one. Puppey may even have a little bit more to say against RTK. Not going to rotate out for him straight away.
Okay, SF is just...
He's a beast.
Yeah, he is really difficult.
Full BKB, Dragonlance is up, another 1,000 gold is sitting in the bank account.
I didn't expect him to have this good of a game, though, when the Wisp wasn't there with him. A couple of mid-games plays really dominate everyone.
You do also ask the question, like, how much did that fight up on top lane hurt them? Like, it wasn't just the fact that SF was able to pick up the 2 kills. Obviously, that's a big part of it. But then the space for Chaos Knight. Armlet is up. MP working his way towards having the BKB. Space was created with that one failed fight. The VGJ just couldn't, like, win and then add more pressure. Restrict the movement of Team Secret. Now with Veil, they try and burn him down. Mid one's here. Puppey. Oh, Spirit jump back. He's going to be able to do it and a long way away. Forcing rotations from Team Secret. Freeze. Try and distract them more than anything else.
They actually don't have enough armor on Dire side. The only armor item they have is Veil right now. They don't even have an Aquila. I thought they were going to build Aquila and then maybe a medallion on the Vengeful Spirit, but they have an urn on the Ven, but they haven't gotten a kill in ages. They got like, what, 1 kill in the last 10 minutes?
Yep.
So, this physical damage is quite staggering. You need your heroes to be tanky so you can play around it with Omni Knight. You know, you want a purification first. When people get low, then you throw out your repel GA combo, and then your second round of purification.
Do you want this aggressive? He's brought the tower within deny range now, so he does take it. KheZu going to rotate in, but here comes the Eclipse with the relocate. It's difficult to get away. The Guardian Angel's taking up so much of this damage, so they will survive to kill off Pylai Die. RTK, not enough life to actually give back to aggressive, or is it? It will be enough with the Frostbite creating space. There's a 4-second stun on the Crystal Maiden, and she's dying to Phantasm. Fenrir can stick up quickly. Nova, he's got a Frostbite available too, and they'll trigger the Shrine. So Fenrir will survive. Io will fall. They claim the Tier 1 tower. So a good engagement for VGJ overall.
He didn't get the armlet toggle on the Illusions. The Illusions don't have the armlet buff on them. I think they might have been able to kill the Crystal Maiden just with the armlet buff on the Illusion without his hero. But well, pretty nice kiting by VGJ. They didn't end up with a Luna death, which is incredibly painful. Finally, they get that tower.
Yep. With the death of the tower, the fact that Luna survives, the painfulness you're talking about is the fact that Luna could have been delayed on her Manta style. That's the dodge she's looking for to stop the Chaos Knight from being the big controller.
Yep. And looks like mid one is actually building into a Bloodthorn. Bloodthorn, I don't know if he's actually going to commit for it. Maybe he thinks, okay, they're actually not focusing me down at all if I get away with it, especially with this BKB. One offensive item, one defensive. Really good versus the Ember Spirit.
Bottom lane, goodbye Vengeful Spirit. Easy and successful smoke. Meanwhile, Freeze is being pushed out of the top lane. Just wanted to farm it up a little bit. Man, KheZu does so much damage with that Abaddon. Freeze is forced to TP himself away to safety. RTK is in the neighborhood.
One thing I will say about KheZu, he really does play for the team.
Relocate. They're coming up after Fenrir. It's just not a fun day to be a VGJ support.
Or deaths. Or track gold.
Puppey's just setting up for it so easily. The Io and the Bounty together.
Dire's middle tower.
Very scary global accommodation with these tests continuously happening for VGJ. They just can't come out, so Team Secret, they're happy for it. Raise down the wave, force in the tier 2 tower. And VGJ are in no position to fight yet. They still need to get the Blink Dagger over on Freeze. He stopped after getting the Veil to pick up the BTs.
I think about how VGJ get back into this. Their lineup was built around 5 manning, but their window has been like this for quite
Nice
some
side
time.
of fist. Perfect Searing Chains MP. You could actually get the combination over on Freeze, but Freeze needs to get out of here. His BTs are off cooldown. And there's the Spirit Jump, but he's right on top of mid one. Another Spirit Jump back to where his tier 2 tower used to be. But this has been good delay from VGJ. That Aegis Immortal is going to time out in about 30 seconds time. So they've managed to avoid the fight during the Aegis timing.
Not good though if you're needing to avoid fights. Eventually they are going to have to fight, and I think the team fight items are coming out of plenty.
I'm still looking at RTK to have his big team fight items. You could see it as how effective that Guardian Angel was in the mid lane before.
Well,
now he's running his Hand of Midas. He's trying to catch back up again. With the plus 60 gold per minute, it's all about the holler for RTK.
There's no good team fight items that he can really get though. He doesn't have Arcane, so he can't go for Greaves. I guess he could get a mech, but it would like late. And
well, the last time he did it, he got Pipe and Shivas.
Pipe is not very good versus the lineup. Shivas is but I don't know if you want to get that as your third item. It is pretty good versus the, but I don't think he really wants to be the one running in there. Like his earlier skill build and item build suggests that he did, but when it comes later into the game, when Shadow Fiend hits really, really hard, I don't think he can. And the Orchid is completed up on Shadow Fiend, so now they have. He doesn't have a mobility item, but he still can catch Omni Knight if he's out of position. Defensive swaps.
Don't think you want to do this, FY. Oh, that's what he wants to do. He stuns to take the range creep and then TP's out.
They're stalling for Luna to get really big.
Yeah. But, man, I'm looking at KheZu, and KheZu could probably take most of this in the future. Like, Aghanim, Vlad, Solar Crest.
Yeah, he definitely can.
They already can't kill him.
He's really good versus Luna. And he has the right items to run in there and not care. Unlike ROTK. They're solo oriented.
And he's always going to have friends. Relocate in with a CK. KheZu is never alone. That's why this two-man push onto the bottom tower is just so effective. VGJ knows they cannot fight this.
They can attempt to sneak a Roche, I think. If they build a medallion on one of their heroes with the VS aura, I think if they can catch Secret Split pushing, they can trade a Roche for it. But first step is to take these towers down, and I don't think
here comes the TPs. Mid ones to the front lines. FY is already forced to run away.
They see mid one, they just leave. They're like, no, no, no.
Was that RTK TPing down? I think it was. And he actually ends up cancelling it. He was headed down to the bottom shrine. Then they just leave the space for aggressive. More levels up for him. Still approaching the BKB. And until he's got that, it doesn't look like he wants to have any engagement at all. And the Ember Spirit just moved off having the Blink Dagger. It's all about the Lincoln Sphere. Full protection for him now. Perfect Observe Ward watching aggressive farming up top lane. However, that silence being released over on Freeze. RTK will break him free. Mid one, they're focusing on the Io. They need him to go down in order then to kill off that BKB'd up Shadow Fiend. They're able to achieve it. But they lose the Luna in return. That was Team Secret actually being forced into two different engagements. They used the Observe Ward watching the Dire Ancients. Or near the Ancients to farm, to try and get the kill.
Yeah, that was actually a difficult play by Secret. They saw the free Luna kill, but if they go for the Luna kill, they actually can't win the fight on top. At least they didn't lose the mid one. I do like how he wasn't very greedy. Like, he didn't see any heroes in sight, but he knows that he just needs to not die in that fight is pretty much what needs to happen for him right there.
Oh, Puppey. He's got a Yule Scepter, cancels the TP out, the Orchid's down, and there's no Spirit to jump out to. Mid one with the raise. Ends up killing off Freeze. All Freeze wanted to do was add a little bit of pressure to the top lane. And now they're going to be scared. Roshan potentially can spawn up, and this will be in their minds. But they'll have to wait a little bit longer. Just over a minute before Roshan is alive.
You know it's an issue when the Shadow Fiend has done more magic damage than that. Something that really doesn't happen very often. Especially when he goes for a Veil build super. And yeah, Ember Spirit is just not going to be very useful. He doesn't have any AoE to deal with the TK illusions too. TK's getting pretty fat right now. He's gonna have heart pretty soon, whereas you're just gonna have a Lincoln's on your Ember Spirit with no damage, no Maelstrom, no Battle Fury, and his magic name is...
Oh, the relocate. There goes your Crystal Maiden. Fenrir in trouble again, Puppey being the man to set up for it. KheZu being in the neighborhood. And F1 Aggressive can't really do much to stop this. There's sentry warding everywhere on the southern part of the map, but it won't matter when Team Secret break your base. They're going into the high ground. There's your swap back out again, trying to save the Omni Knight. He gets silenced up, and thanks to this, maybe now there's some rebuttal. MP just being aphotic shielded up. They can't even stun and control. So Team Secret do heavy damage to the tier 3 tower. They can back up, however. The line's being drawn. Roshan did just respawn.
Yeah, they can easily take a
Oh,
fight
wow,
right
that's
now.
TP? No.
Their ulti's back up on an MP. Oh, and an Arcane Rune. Oh, maybe they're going to give that to. I guess maybe Seek. I think having the second ulti is going to be really nice for pushing high ground.
They give it to the Abaddon.
Yeah, I guess Abba's okay too. It depends on what they want to do. I think Abba's is way better for the team fight, and CK's is way better for actually Seek the base.
Notice how VGJ are doing nothing to try and contest this. Fenrir is trying to leech experience up on the top. RTK pushes at the bottom. They know the fight's going to come to mid, and again, they'll just have to have like better positioning, better control if they're going to survive this. And Freeze just needs a little bit more money. Puppey's able to find him once again. With both Yules as well as the Shuriken toss, it's so easy for him to interrupt Freeze doing what he's doing. And in fact, now he's going to go on RTK. Quick Yules up, then repel, TP out. RTK will have the life to survive this. No more stuns to hurt him and relocate down.
Still a nice attempt by them. Still no way, and I don't think they're ever really going to have a way to stop.
Is this Freeze with the confidence?
Making plays at creating space, but still his upside for his team fight is quite limited. I see mid one, but
Yeah, they're going to try and kill him off. Aggressive, able to get the initial stun, but they just don't know.
bro, he has Aegis.
Yeah. The committal for
That's
that
one of
doesn't
those
seem
you're
to
like,
be good.
we can't do this.
And now MP actually wants to go on Freeze. Perfect slide of Fist Searing Chain, so he'll get away.
I still like their plan of let's see SF run away.
It is the cheapest gun for RTK. He just completes it now.
Yeah, that's nice in combination with repel. Maybe he can run in. I think it will limit a lot of the damage from the. Maybe not as much from the Shadow Fiend because he's a lot more attack.
Ethel. He's going into the middle of 4 heroes from Team Secret. Lincoln's will trigger. Yule's Scepter up into the air, a quick slide of Fist, and then Spirit back to his tier 3 tower. That reveals the position of Team Secret as the small advantage.
Everyone looks like he wants to push high ground, but it seems not really that close. Creep wave is coming in. Seconds that he needs to wait. I think they have everything that they need. They have Aegis primarily, and the Solar Crest, and Vlad's, and a really, really fat Shadow Fiend.
But getting all the way in is so difficult, especially when Aggressive can be babysitted by RTK. Mops up the wave pretty quickly. Ember Spirit's still not involved in this. He's pushing in the top lane. He's trying to finally finish off that tier 1 tower.
He doesn't have enough. He doesn't have any wave clear. Like his Sleight of Fist doesn't do any damage because he doesn't have Maelstrom. So he doesn't actually need to be here for the wave defense. I guess he can stall with Sleight and Chains, but it doesn't really work versus that Abba. And mid one's gonna have to deal with this like repel and
here we go again.
Spam.
MP jumping in, looking for that initiation. 3 seconds stun. Vengeful Spirit has to swap RTK back out. He will survive. They don't have a shrine to help him out, but the tier 3 tower falls. Freeze now here in the fight. Another quick jump, but the slide of Fist Searing Chains. MP just cannot get his combination off on the Ember Spirit, but what they can do is leave the Immortal one. Mid one with the Aegis, beating into the range racks. They get the fortification out as well. Another quick victory here for Team Secret.
They're actually limited by KheZu's mana pool. They can probably just tether them up if they. T3 down, shrines. I think they have enough time with the Aegis to even venture further into.
That's enough for KheZu to actually buy up the full Ags now. This now, VGJ, they've moved out just down to their southern shrine. Not really going to find anyone to kill off. It's just, again, more pressure, push out, control as much as you can, and get as much resources in before Team Secret try and siege you once more. Get aggressive closer towards that butterfly.
I don't think it's gonna happen in time.
Butterfly before they push again?
Yep.
I don't disagree.
ROTK is playing like an ABBA. Once I think about it, he's playing. He's like, I wanted ABBA, but I'm just gonna have to suffice for Omni Knight. He likes being up there. The typical Omni Knight playstyle is like getting Aether Lens and sitting way in the back and buffing at one of your other cores.
Aggressive, don't show yourself if you want to survive through this FY. SF's gonna raise down the wave.
At least he has They don't have any instant. Only like a minute and a half left on this Aegis. Actually, it's less than a minute.
In towards the mid. Fenrir, more trouble for him. Puppey sets up. Pilot Eye and MP just wander in, and now there's no Crystal Maiden. And mid one's making his way towards the mid. But the bigger support I'm watching out for is FY. How many times does he have to defensively swap as opposed to aggressively swap? Blink Dagger is now
pretty much
up
every
for the
time.
Ember 2. It's just a sad thing, right? Because like the only way they really top Team Secret is by getting a kill on either the SF or the Chaos Knight. And the only way to do that is by dragging him out of range of the Abad.
Yeah, but SF has BKB, so you can't really go on him. And Chaos Knight also has
Hager's
BKB.
just timed out. The jump forward, aggressive, able to get that BKB off with the 2-second stun on the RTK. There's that swap again from FY, pulling back the Omni Knight. They have to trigger up the Shrine, but the Force is in there from Team Secret, looking to push into the melee racks. RTK just goes in, 3-second stun on him, aggressive. The damage output is not too bad, but then again, it's just not enough. Team Secret is so far ahead in this game. They just don't have the power. A quick push in. It's actually mid one going for it with his Hurricane Pike, trying to kill off FY. One more attack will do the job. More bounty rolling his way, and with the relocate out, they don't even get the kill on that front. It's RTK stunned up, an ultra kill for mid one. He just reset, repushed, and rampaging through everything VGJ offers. Will it be a double? No, it won't. MP will take it on a B-stick of life, and they're going for the GG push, and rightly so. VGJ have nothing left in the tank to defend that.
High MMR wins game. Mid one. Jeez. Came right back, killed him. But I mean, he didn't have an easy time. He didn't have a West babysitting him. He didn't have that many stacks for himself. But look at him.